Hello everyone, it's your friendly neighbourhood Giles here, and today we've got another episode that's a bit out of the ordinary. Now, normally we talk about films that have been already out for a while and that are well and truly in the mainstream, but today we've got a little bonus episode for you where we get to tell you about an upcoming film called The Silver Screen Dreams Café. Let's hear a bit of the trailer.
So what are you going to do?
I don't know.
Well, you could always sell.
Business isn't exactly booming.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Unless I pay those guys back, I'm going to lose the business which my family spent their whole lives building up, and possibly one or two limbs along the way.
You're going to bring me my money by next Friday?
Yeah, that's fine, absolutely.
All of it?
What?
Sometimes you need a little bit of magic. I've got it. Movies.
What?
We are gonna make movies. Transform the Silver Screen Dreams Café into the Silver Screen Dreams Film Studios.
Action!
He was tall, he was dark, he was...
Cuts!
Take 2.
Cuts!
Take 3.
Dave, come over here and be Eduardo for us.
I'm not doing no acting.
Take 4. Oh, I say.
Oi! I want a word with you. You're making a film? And you want me to be in it?
Yeah?
You still owe me money, though.
What are you doing with that carpet, mate?
It's for the film.
For a film? Can I be in it?
Yeah, of course you can. Is this still a cafe, love?
It's the Silver Screen Dreams Film Studio now. It turns out I shall be acquiring your little cafe after all.
Now, hang on a minute.
And no matter how many extra cups of tea you manage to sell, you're still in debt. All the way up to your eyeballs. Oh dear.
Now, last week I was lucky enough to catch up with the producer who is also one of the stars of the film. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, well, my name is Rebecca, or Becky Peacock, and I have produced a feature film called The Silver Screen Dreams Café, and I am one of the founders of the Silver Screen Community Film Studios.
Becky, thank you so much for being on the show today. It's such a joy to have you here. So let's get right into it. Can you tell us about the Silver Screen Dreams Café? Tell us about the film.
So the film is all about a chap called Milton, who has inherited a seaside cafe from his dad, who was into old Hollywood memorabilia and loved old Hollywood. Milton's always wanted to be a filmmaker, but he's stuck in a cost of living crisis and he's got no money. The cafe's going under. He's having to borrow money from some loan sharks and thugs from the garage, from the local garage. And there's a property developer desperate to buy his cafe, but he feels as though he can't really give his cafe up because he won't honour his dad's memory. So he's kind of stuck in this horrible cost of living place, really. Yeah, and then an old flame comes along and questions him about why he's not writing and making films. And she's into marketing, and she sort of says, well, why don't we start the cafe, start making films with people in the cafe. So this whole new idea of the cafe becoming a film studio starts growing, and gradually the whole town starts getting in on the act, and there's a bit of a community transformation really through the film. And
this was made in a slightly unusual way, wasn't it? Would you like to tell us a little bit about the Silver Screen Community Film Studios?
I would love to tell you about the Community Film Studios. It is bonkers.
Oh, yes. No, that was very clear.
So my husband is the writer-director on the project. He wrote the screenplay of this movie in COVID times. And we were going to cast it in the normal way. We were going to try and raise a large budget. We were going to hold auditions, that kind of thing. But he had this kind of revelation moment, is all I can describe it. He thinks it might have been too much coffee, but I think it was something deeper than that. And felt as though he should live the story of the film, that we were being asked, that the screenplay was actually a blueprint as to how we were to actually make the film itself. So So the film being all about sort of amateur film and community coming together, we thought, okay, we're going to see if people in our community, we'd recently started going to the Wythenshawe community, the Message Community Church in Wythenshawe. Mm-hmm. And we put out a call there and at the local community grocery where lots of people were struggling with the cost of living crisis. And we sort of said, does anyone want to get together and make a feature film? And we waited to see who on earth would come through our doors on Thursday evenings. And we started training people up in filmmaking and film acting, both behind the camera and in front of the camera.
Amazing. That is not a small task to do. It's one thing putting on a film, it's another thing teaching people acting to do it at the same time. Are you mad? I think is
we are mad, and on top of that, it was never meant to be. Mike didn't write the film with us in mind, but we ended up playing the lead characters in the movie on top of all that. So I was producing the film, he was directing the film. Yet
write the theme tune, sing the theme tune, that sort of thing.
No, we don't do that, but some of our community have come out with the most amazing theme tunes. I'll have to get you to play it on this podcast. But yeah, it was hard work doing all the different roles, but I would say that it's been a real unexpected joy working with a community of filmmakers. And so for the last 2 years, we've been meeting every Thursday evening, really, and we've got very deep relationships now. And what was interesting is because we'd established our relationships, because we've been working on the script, when it came to actually shooting the film, everyone was on it. You know, we did employ a director of photography, a cinematographer, and a sound recordist, and they both said, you know, they couldn't believe they weren't professional cast. You know, they did such a good job, and it felt normal to be making a feature film with these guys, completely normal.
That's fantastic. So we've got the premiere coming up. And do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
I do. So, yeah, I feel as though it's had God's favour all over it in a way. So I sent a trailer of the movie off to a friend of mine who, an acquaintance via Christians in Media. And she loved the whole ethos of the film, you know, making it with community people, but she didn't know if it would be any good. So she waited to see what it was like, and after watching it, she couldn't believe what they'd achieved, and she wanted us to headline the I Will Tell International Film Festival, so we'll be headlining that in Manchester on the 13th of September, coming up, a week on Friday.
Amazing. So if people can't make it to the I Will Tell Film Festival, where can people find your film?
So we will be putting it on Amazon Prime. If people are local, we've got some ward premieres coming up, but we're also going to hope that some distributors come to the film premiere. So we'll see if it goes any further than that. But certainly we will load it onto Amazon Prime Video probably by the beginning of next year.
Amazing. Now, full disclosure, listeners, I do have a small cameo in this. I'm one of the extras in the background. So
you are.
I am not going to say anything in terms of I haven't seen the film, and I don't think my critical opinion would be worth much of it on this one, as I'm actually in it, but I can't wait to see it. It's going to be fantastic.
Becky, and you get to dress up as well, don't you?
And I get to dress up as well. I love that. Becky, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Take care.
So that was Becky Peacock, and if you're lucky enough to be in the Manchester area, the premiere is this Friday at the Concord Conference Centre. I'll put a link up in the description if you're interested. I'm going to be dressing up really sharp. I look awesome in a suit, as many of you know, and I'll obviously try my best not to upstage the stars, but you know, we are who we are. And finally, just to keep you updated, we are working on Series 7, and I'm going to bring you that before the end of the year. If you have any suggestions for films that we should cover, or want to let us know what you think of the show, please get in touch. Until then, bye!
God in Film is hosted and created by Giles Goff.
That's me.
Mixing and editing by Giles. Our logo was designed by
Julie Walsh.
And our theme tune was composed by
Rick Lee.
Please rate and review.
Please give us 5 stars because that's a nice thing to do.